Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the Alternative Commentary Collective's Agenda podcast for the 1st of September.
The Agenda, an Alternative Commentary Collective podcast.
G'day there, welcome along into the Agenda with G Lane. Matt, Heath and James McOnie. Good to have everyone back in the same room.
R.I.P. Tits Lane, the return of the broadcaster formerly known as Tits Lane. He's had the tits removed from his head. I had a feel of those silicon little puppies.
Yeah.
It's quite terrifying. Actually, so cold. Are they cold when they went in?
No, they were quite warm when they were in because my body would heat them up.
Yeah.
But I've got the tits in a jar, James. I keep them in a jar beside my bed.
You have nary a wrinkle on your face anymore.
Yeah, well, I've got it. There's a few wrinkles. There's a few over this side.
You've been given a lift,
but it's a full facelift. But
you could have just booked a holiday to Thailand for 2 weeks, and you come back and suddenly you say, "I'm just so refreshed." It's like,
and your teeth are really bright.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, you get the warnies out.
You got a mass set of nungs, and you're like, "I was a trip to Thailand by myself."
I said something about tits. They put me under, and now I've got these huge nungas.
So, how far from everything being 100% G Lane again?
A few months still to go. A few months. There's a couple of hundred stitchies in my forehead.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I'm on some sweet drugs. I don't know if you've tried Sevrodol. Have you tried
Yeah,
Sevrodol?
big fan. Big fan.
Jesus
What
Christ.
is that a tramadol and then some?
Yeah, it is. It's the restricted version of tramadol.
Yeah.
It's the morphine-based one.
Yeah.
I tell you what, some crazy dreams on that stuff.
Time and space sort of mold into each other in a weird way. You don't know what's happening now or happened before, or it's very strange.
I tell you what, it's great for parenting. Parenting on Sevrodol, nothing's a problem.
So when I called you the other day and you gave me the massive pay rise and said that you'd suck me off.
Oh no, I was sober. I got off them days before that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When this isn't sport related, but I had a terrible back injury and I was on prescription medicines like that for about a year, and mainly the tramadol, but in and out. And I don't remember that year of my son's. It was my son just got born, my second son, and I remember the whole year. But Lani, mother of my children, goes, "You were just an amazing dad. You were so chill. You could put him to bed. He'd be crying. You'd be like, nothing worried you. And then come through, and you and Barry you'd be asleep on the floor, and Barry'd be asleep. It was just drifting in and out, so calm.
You were so beautiful. You were so caring.
But then I came out with a fucking rage that lasted about 10 years after that.
You've been raging ever since.
Raging ever since. I got on the trammies and I put my back out. I was on the mud-eye trip at my daughter's school, and I thought, I don't want to stay in the mud-eye because I'm a snorer and everyone wakes up in the morning and hates you. So I thought, and then my back I thought, oh no, the back's not right. The back's not, because I was and I thought, I've got to go home because I went off the tramadol so I could drive up to Whangarei.
Yes.
Went home, went on the trammies, and just sort of like was in a massive daze for days. And then had to go to my best mate's wedding. Couldn't actually make it down there. I was going to drive, so I had to get a later flight. I missed the rehearsal, and even though I was best man, I got demoted from best man because I was absent from the rehearsal on the tramadols. And I was like, and I had to say to the celebrant, excuse me, I'm going up there. And he was like, no, you're not on my list. I was on the tramadol. I got dumped. Yeah.
You got dumped at the altar.
Yeah.
They tried to knock you off the tram tracks, derail your tram. There's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
And also, it was one of those
derailed
ones,
your tram train.
It's terrible because usually it's the bride or the groom having a big hissy fit on the wedding day, but me throwing my weight
One of the
around.
groomsmen.
Yeah, I may have dropped the shoulder into a couple of people, but it was beautiful gardens though. Beautiful gardens.
Have you ever thrown your weight around as a pallbearer? You're like, hey, we're going this way. What are you doing?
Get out
Hey,
there.
I'm up the front. What am I at the back?
We're going on the shoulders. No, we're not. It's too heavy.
Put it up. Faster, boys. Faster. Jesus Christ. He's fucking dragging at the back there. Anyway,
let's get into it.
personal admin.
Wow. Fast forward that. Bullshit.
Rugby. So what happened? I was in a Sevrodol days on the weekend. What
I
happened?
still can't quite believe what happened. Of course, me and McOnie were calling it on Sky Sports 9 and the like. And it was an interesting thing, wasn't it, James? Because it was happening, but it was like in a dream. And even at the end, when I saw the score at the end, I was like, it's Christchurch, it's the All Blacks, we're playing Argentina, and we appear to have lost. It was hard to get your head around.
Even, I think at one point, I did the early call for an Argentina win, thinking this isn't going to happen.
As a joke.
I'm going to get as a joke, They're just going to accelerate, and it's like, uh-oh. And the bum got so squeaky that the ACC decided to plug into some new technology that NZ Rugby
I heard about this.
is running, the Sphinctometer for Ian
Fozzie,
Foster.
yeah.
Fozzie's Sphinctometer is something that I guess it's been a project that the mainstream media didn't want to bar of, but the ACC went direct to New Zealand Rugby and said, look, we'd like to trial this if we could.
It is an invasive.
Yeah.
It is invasive.
Explain.
It might be a bit invasive for Fozzie, but people have got used to wearing, the trackers on their shirts, so it's not a million miles away from that. Sometimes we're miking people up in sports at the moment, so it's actually a thing that goes into Fozzie's anus.
For those who don't know, could you just explain what the device is and how it works?
If you're, say, the coach of the All Blacks and you have a potential to lose to Argentina, and the clock's ticking down, your sphincter can tighten.
Yes, right. Is this something that New Zealand Rugby, as an employer of Fozzie, have done just to see his tension and how he's performing, or is it for the public?
Well, we are sharing the data with them, but yes.
Yeah, we are sharing the data. Sorry, you were saying, what does it look like? It's more on the butt plug side. It did start off as more dildo-ish, but we just thought, no, we can refine it, and it's taken a bit of time. Fozzie was happy with anything, but we decided we've got it in a nice form that can measure the tightening of the sphincter. Now, it could work on any sphincter. In this case, it's just the anal sphincter.
Yeah.
There are obviously plenty of sphincters in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's quite expensive technology, and I don't know, Checker wasn't as keen as Fozzie, and which is fine because the technology's new and we're trialing it on Fozzie. But yeah, it was very informative, and I think the tightest he hit, he was redlining from a lot of the game. The second half, it was really, really tight. But when Cody Taylor threw the line out. Threw in not straight on the line out. That was basically there was nothing. They couldn't. It was red. It was completely tight.
He almost blew it up actually. So we have had to sort of go and recalibrate. We've washed it off and stuff. But I mean, Fozzie was great. He said, "How did it go, boys? What did you get out of that?" And we said, "Oh, it's great. But we may need to introduce a brown line or even a purple line if it goes, because it feels like
we never thought it could get as tight as it did.
Yeah,
and that throwing the line out not straight. I mean, we couldn't expect anything like that to happen when it was your chance to, right at the end of the game like that. It was your last throw of the dice, and then it doesn't go in straight. And like, there are people who are arguing, look, Argentina weren't contesting that line out, so what does it matter if it's straight or not? And there would have been less straight things. But for me, maybe don't throw it right to the back. Maybe keep it nice and safe up, but closer. Just make sure you execute the line out so it doesn't have a chance to drift. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm not in charge of set piece strategy for the All Blacks.
G Lane, you're a line out forward.
Yes.
You'd call a number 2 any time, wouldn't you?
The whole time.
The whole time. You call a number 2, and that's what Fozzie was thinking.
Unless you're leading by 30.
He was thinking number 2.
And just say it out loud, no codes. 2.
That's it.
We used to do that. I used to do that. You'd play rugby, they'd go, I'm going to throw it to you. And then the opposition would be like, they wouldn't be this dumb. And you go, throw it to 2.
He's bluffing. Yeah.
Can I just say, is there a chance that this weekend is the return in Hamilton, and the ACC are covering it again? Potentially, is there a possibility that we can get the technology that you guys have introduced and get it live on the screen so we can see the sphinctometer? You got that?
We've got that.
You had that.
We've got that, but the graphics are better now.
Oh, okay.
All we had was represented sort of like a dial, a rev counter, which didn't give the information much. So we've actually got a graphical representation of the sphincter in a circular fashion that goes in. So it's very easy to tell when it's in the centre ones.
Yeah.
Then it's tight.
Yeah.
If it's in the green around the outside,
so
that the All Blacks are.
It's like the forest fire thing, that says,
so
don't
All,
like the...
All Blacks up by 15, 5 minutes to go, you're going to be on the outer.
Yeah.
Right. You're right on the line. You need to get a try, converted try just to draw, and the ball's not thrown in straight. That's going to be right in the centre.
Oh yeah, can I also say the Argentinian uniforms, that it is a bit Gloria Vale, and they're all sort of like these little sort of polo shirts. But the forward who scored the try, his uniform was virtually clean when he went over. I know they are tough forwards, but it was kind of like the one guy who hadn't done that much running decided, I might just run all the way to the try line here.
Yeah.
And that was Speedy Gonzalez, the blindside flanker. And then it was all on. You could see the Argentinians they know how to suffocate a game. They know how to do a lot of things, actually.
Yeah, I've seen them do that to England and Twickenham, actually. They beat England and Twickenham when I was over in, would have been about 15 years ago. And they did exactly the same. They just choked them out.
What do you think of allegations that if you just slow the ball on the All Blacks, you've got a good chance of beating us?
Great. Actually, it does seem that way. And even I had a chat to Stephen Beaver.
Stephen
Donald.
Stephen Beaver.
Stephen Beaver.
He should
Steve
drop
Beaver.
he should drop his last name. It should just be called Stephen Beaver.
Stephen Beaver. And Stevie Beaver was saying, hey, if we've got quicker ball, then it's fine. And we do have to kick because Fozzie was saying we always try to run ourselves out of trouble.
Yeah.
It's been a problem for the past 10 years. It's like, oh, great to bring it up now.
Yeah.
Anyway, good.
It doesn't seem to be that much of a problem for the last 10 years. We used to win every game, but yeah.
That's right, yeah. Exactly. And so
it used to be 2 with drop each season, but yeah, anyway.
And so apparently it's clever kicking, and you're right, Matt Heath. It's a bit of front foot ball.
Yeah.
I need some backbone, don't they? I need some heart, some ticker.
Yeah.
So predictions this weekend, man.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and look, the All Blacks not the greatest All Black team of all time. In fact, Dylan Cleaver's bounce, he summed it up, and the All Blacks just aren't that good. He summed up all the bullshit. The All Blacks just aren't that good at the moment. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to say still All Blacks by 10. I'm going to say All Blacks at 10 in the Waikato. There's no way, FNG. Although
on the carpet, the green carpet.
Fozzie can't be going in press conference and saying, we really need you to turn up to an All Black game. This isn't a charity match at the local club. It's not like, hey, come on, I really appreciate your support down here, coming down on the weekend. If anyone can turn up, the under-16s have got quite a tough challenge. It'd be great to see some support on the sideline. You can't be like that.
We are Waikato people, and if he wants us to turn up, there's got to be some sort of meat raffle involved, right?
Absolutely. There's got to be an incentive. There's got to be like a pelican involved at the gate or something.
You can't be playing at our smaller stadiums in the country and begging for people to turn up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you think he got the brief? He goes, hey, Fozzie, in the press conference, ticket sales are a bit...
Yes.
Can you maybe...
I mean, it's your hometown, mate.
I'm with you, Matt Heath. I think there's going to be a blowback, bounce back, backlash, blacklash of 10 to 15 points, maybe even 20 points, because RG have come here and ambushed us, and this is where the All Blacks go, and incredible help the shit out of the second test.
Well, that happened last time, didn't it, when they beat us in Sydney, you remember?
Yeah.
They beat us, just farted through, beat us in Sydney, and then we fucking smoked them when they came to New Zealand.
Yeah.
In a vengeful, spiteful match.
Yeah.
Well, it was over there, wasn't it? It was at Will Jordan with a hat trick, and it was almost like a 40-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Checker's already yucking it up. He doesn't need anything else from this tour.
He's like,
What's up? Can someone give him a tissue that can blow his nose? He looks like he's got a cold. I thought he had a cold, but he's like, it's like his sinuses have been.
He's getting inside of Fozzie Bear even more than our Sphinctometer. He's right inside Fozzie Bear's. He's taking good inside. He's living rent free in Fozzie's mind.
Yeah.
We're taking the more back passage route, but his comments are so pointed. They just seem to be talking about something, but they're actually pointed in there. It's like, the coaching in Canterbury is pretty particularly good, Cheeky. You are right. Yeah, the coaching for Crusaders has been quite good.
Well,
good point. I wonder why you're bringing that up.
Cheeker, they did inquire, the Pyramids said they came via the ACC to say, can we join the Sphinctometer up Fozzie's ass? We've got something from Cheeker. And we said, no, it's taken. And so they came back with these Cheeker nipple clamps. They sort of and a little bit of electrical and almost a gripple, but electrical. And that's when he sort of used it. When he said, Scott Robertson, what a great coach.
Yeah.
Well, he's made a big difference to Pablo Matera. He's come back a better player. And I can't say enough about the Crusaders and their coaching. And I was like, twiddling the nips.
He was,
He just gave it to Fozzie.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But Fozzie did come out straight after the match and go and complain about what the Argentines were doing at the breakdown. And you got to come out and you just got to go, better team beat us on the day. And you just got to play such a straight, even if it's absolute bullshit what you're saying, and inside you're spinning and you've been wronged terribly. You just got to play with a straight bat if you're the coach.
I agree. I think that was one. Even though the Georgian referee was all over the shop, and I was like.
He just got a brand new whistle and he wanted to try it out.
How did we end up?
He was a great whistler, wasn't he?
Beautiful.
How did we end up with the work experience referee?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's always the way, isn't it? You turn around and the guy's like, yak smash. It's like, oh, God.
It'd be like, remember that in South Africa, I think it was at Nelson Mandela's funeral, there was a guy that was signing,
sign language.
But he didn't know sign language, he was just making it up. We'll find out that guy lied on his CV, that Georgian ref. He's like, not actually.
Yeah.
He's actually just a PE teacher from Te Awamutu. Put on a Georgian accent.
My name about it.
I am a rugby union referee. Water, take it in. Your gentleman, Jackson. When every accent turns into water.
So back to a normal kickoff time of 7 p.m. this Saturday. The ACC is covering it. Matt Wadd and Storm Hitawa have got that game
The Wadd's
covered.
a Camare in the ACC team. The Wadd, he's great. He's
The Matt
great.
Wadd, the Matt Wadd will be calling it. Storm Hitawa.
They're talking about doing.
Great New Zealanders.
Aren't they the first ACC tandem team? Have you
Well,
heard about
no,
that?
they did a tandem during the Super Rugby. It was Moana Pacifica versus the Blues. And Matt Wadd, huge Blues fan, and Storm Hitawa, huge Moana Pacifica fan. They did the first ever tandem broadcast where Matt Wadd was a little bit concerned about some of the Moana Pacifica names. So what they did was whenever the Auckland Blues had the ball, Matt Ward would do the commentary.
Yes.
And then whenever Moana Pacifica had the ball, Stormy Tawa would do the commentary,
Smart.
which is a little bit weak from Matt Ward, if I must admit, because I called a number of Moana Pacifica games and got
And you
hauled
committed some hate crime.
I got hauled into the pronunciation bunker numerous times. But
Well, you got cancelled several times. I mean, you just keep on coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we have to
You
do.
can't cancel the willing. That's
You learnt from your mistakes, and now your Pacifica pronunciation is probably sitting at about 15-17% of where it needs to be, which is a lot better than where you started.
But also, what Stormy Tawa's introduced, which he's just showed me, is the pronunciation collar, which he's got a dog collar, which has got the electrical dog collar, and he said we're going to have this for Super Rugby next year. So every time you mispronounce, I'm just going to shock you. So look forward to Super Rugby next year, where Stormy Tawa basically fries my larynx every couple of seconds.
Your forehead might be repaired from them, so you might as well get your neck burned off.
Yeah, but look, you have to learn some way. But yeah, 7 o'clock on Saturday night, Sky Sport 9, iHeartRadio and Radio Hodaki.
Should we move on to the cricky?
Yeah.
The cricky. The Minute Piece retires. Interesting situation there. Was it a clerical error by the Minute Piece that had him signing up for the Big Bash? And then he found out you're not allowed to in New Zealand cricket. New Zealand cricket sends the bigs, please explain. He said, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, it's an unusual set of circumstances, but I guess that knowing the Minute Piece, someone would have called him and gone, hey, do you want to go in the BBL? He goes, yeah. And okay. And they would have put him in.
He went to his brain and goes, is there anything else I do I play?
We've all done that though, haven't we? The Google
cricket.
Calendars. We've just ignored it.
Cricket.
Yeah. But he's
who
like,
do I?
Who do I?
I play. Yep. You want me to play cricket? I play cricket. Yeah.
God bless them. God bless the Minute Piece as well. And but lucky, he's just come out and said, well, in New Zealand cricket, please explain. You've got a central contract, and he's gone, go get fucked. I quit. I haven't got one anymore. I'm going to go play BBL.
Yeah.
So, which is a shame because I loved watching Minute Piece because I loved watching. You never knew what was going to happen.
Do you know what's bullshit with his retirement? The picture in the Herald was short-haired. Why would you go with the lovely, and what are we going to do with the 10,000 Colin de Gronholm black flaps we got? Where are our losers here?
We got the Colin de Black Flaps, which you're right, we got 10,000. Hence, as soon as he retired, we put a special on the ACC shop. Buy the Colin de Gronholm t-shirt, get the hat for free.
Yeah.
So get on to the ACC shop.
Should we give some away to podcast listeners?
Yeah, just comment on the podcast, rate us, and we'll give you a Colin de Black.
Hey,
the final flaps.
I've got a little bit of a concern here, and I just saw with obviously lovely Trenty going off contract, he'll be here and not. But then I'm thinking about some people, and great New Zealander, I love him so much, Devon Conway. Especially when he's on a boat with his shirt off, running a bit of slight dad bod for a professional athlete. But what if someone like Devon Conway just goes, what?
He's in his early 30s. He's in his twilight.
You can imagine us. We've finally got Devon Conway. It's like having Kane too in the team. You can imagine a Devon Conway going, really? How much money could I make? Really? If Kane does it, then the Black Clap support group's back in sesh.
Yeah. It's an interesting time for New Zealand cricket.
It's teetering a bit. It's teetering.
Is there something going on, or is it just people getting a bit long in the tooth and needing to make some money?
I think cricket's changing in terms of how players manage their career.
Yeah.
You've got the BBL getting bigger and bigger. They've got this draft system they've got going on. You've got that UAE league that's kicking off, which is going to be bigger than the IPL in terms of money.
Well, what's Stokesy done? Is he said no to 50 overs?
Yep, he just wants to play Bazball and T20s around the world.
How about that second test? England, Bazballing it.
Bazball back.
Baseball back.
Jeez, an emotional roller
we thought it was
coaster.
going to be a ball sack.
Yeah.
A baseball sack. After the first test, now it's baseball back.
He's back, baby.
back.
So with Colin de Grandhomme, it's kind of sad that he's had to retire because of not realising what was in his calendar, not checking his diary. But that sums him up, really. He was the guy who he never changed his game. He just did what he wanted to do. I love the story that he told on to the ACC in the van that time.
That was Ajaz.
With Ajaz. Sorry, Ajaz was telling his Colin de Grandhomme story. That was about, he had to face a very fast bowler.
It was Bumrah.
Bumrah, that's right.
His first test, Ajaz Patel, and Bumrah was bowling. And Ajaz said he was facing up, and he was like, this guy's not coming in from very far, like going off about 10 paces. And then got to the crease, and then all of a sudden the ball was past him. He hadn't even played a shot. And that Colin de Grandhomme at the other end swaggers down. He's like tapping the pitch. Ajaz meets him in the middle, and Colin just goes, got to get set up early, eh?
Well, he just said set up early, eh?
Well, he's been accused of not having great match awareness, but sometimes that really works. He comes out and he's like, he's got no idea what's happening in the match, and he'll just suddenly hit a very handy 75. Sometimes you want him to maybe knuckle down, and he has a huge hoof at the first ball. Remember that? What was that test match? It was pretty sure it was at Hagley Oval.
He got a hundy.
Where he didn't have his bat. He was sitting in his pads. And he didn't have his bat, and he had to run upstairs to get his bat. And they're like, we're in trouble because there's a certain amount of time before you have to get out there. And he's like, I'm in. And then he's running around. They saw him on the sideline. I would love to get the footage of that. I'm pretty sure it was Hagley. But anyway, he had to run up and then get his bat, and then he was running out laughing. It was like, there's match awareness, and there's not having your bat.
And also, is he the original baseballer? He's like, I'm coming out and I'm playing these shots, and if it comes off, we're going to win, guys.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, well, that's baseball.
And he's a great change-up because people, maybe they've been getting punished by the other swing bowlers, and they're like, all right, okay, mate, here comes Mr. Dibble Dobbles. And how many wickets have people taken from underestimating the minute piece?
Yeah. And remember, he had a sensational 2015 World Cup.
And he had a sensational interview with me and Jerry on the Matt and Jerry show.
Well, that's where the minute piece came from.
Yeah.
He is legendary. He's legendary for his post-match interviews, which I love.
Anyone that's ever played with him, they say he's just the best fucking dude.
He's a great team, man. So if you want to get your minute piece, a limited edition T-shirt, and Colin de Black Flap hat for free, text shop to 3236. You get sent a link, and you can.
Right.
Also,
I probably shouldn't have gone through that free deal. I just jumped in. I cut your lunch on that, didn't I?
No, that's all right.
I was going to say, World Cup winner. He's retiring an immortal. He's won a bloody World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shall I give that a real push? That the minute piece tribute collection in the ACC shop. Buy a minute piece, first ball part 2T, and get a Colin de Black Flap for free. Text shop to 3236 now.
Oh, well, and while we're on the liners, the Dulux Tradies 11's back.
Exciting.
Yeah. So,
I was interviewed in for this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I saw the Instagram video come out, I felt a little bit disrespectful.
Really?
I
haven't seen
Am
it.
I no longer our all-rounder?
I'm not sure. You claimed that you're the all-rounder,
Yeah.
ACC all-rounder.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Hoyt came in and said he was the blockbuster in Colin de Grandhomme, Martin Guptill opening batsman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the ACC 11 who may potentially living off past glories.
Well, the thing is, I'm not going to make it as a batsman or a bowler. I'm not making it
So you're going
or a
all-rounder.
fielder.
So you go. So
And
you,
you're fucking not putting me in the keep behind the stumps. So I've got to, I'm not individually, none of my skills warrant me being in the team.
so you're going for the all-rounder.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. You go to Colin de Grandhomme.
Yeah.
So
Everyone loves having you in the team.
Yeah. I'm
you're
great in the showers.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent in the showers. No one's doubting that.
No one's ever doubted
ever questioning
your
that.
ability in the shower. Okay, if someone does, I will have their guts for going.
But Lee Hart was a magical mystery, wasn't he? He was a mystery man. You never know what's coming down.
Beamer, Matt Spratt down leg.
Exactly.
Beautiful delivery, Beamer.
Crazy.
The beautiful delivery is 1 in 15.
Yeah. 6 random freaking deliveries. And then for you, you're autumn leaves, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, autumn leaves. It's a bit short, sits up.
You get a lot of wickets though.
Yeah, tweak it.
Yeah.
No,
No, I look like a tweaker, but it doesn't move.
it's fairly nude.
It's
There's nothing
fairly
on it.
nude.
There's nothing on it.
And I don't get my wrist around in the proper fashion either. It's sort of spinning like a flying saucer.
It almost stalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost stalls in the air
Yeah.
and then
But
carries
it's-
on.
And people like batsmen feel like they need to enforce it. This can't be on. You can't be bowling like that. They need to make a point. That's why you put someone on the square leg boundary, someone halfway between the square leg boundary and with the umpire, someone right in front of the umpire, and then someone at cow corner. You don't need it in any other field
because people are leaning across and just hoiking it.
So the Dulux Tradies 11. It's been 4 years we've remained defeated after 4 years of this.
There's a lot on the line for us.
There's a lot on the line. So it's this year though. It's played under lights at the Bay Oval in Tauranga. So this year because it's been at the Clifton Cricket Club, which is a magnificent setting. Beautiful. But we are looking for help. We're actually looking for someone and a mate to be flying anywhere from New Zealand to Tauranga to be part of the ACC 11. So could help if you could roll the arm over, throw a ball, bat, and keep would probably be helpful. So text Dulux to 3236. Follow that link to register. It's a pretty epic weekend. These two Dulux Tradies 11s we play against. It's a great weekend. They put on a pretty magnificent couple of days there in Tauranga. So get involved. James McOnie, you're going to be rolling the arm over?
I'd love to be, but that is on the 28th, isn't it?
No, it's on the early November. It's on, I think, the 5th of November, 4th or 5th of November.
Yeah, it's possible, actually. I might have to. Am I taking Matt Heath's spot in the team?
No, we've got a squad of about 15 because what usually happens is injuries hit us hard about a week before because we go to the nets and down at Vic Park and we roll the arm over. We never
really come back from the next session.
And people just fall by the wayside.
Yeah, the last time I played for the ACC, I did blow a calf. I blew a calf really early on. Just couldn't help myself.
Last game of the season for the Wawas against the Titans on Saturday. The Mad Monday team will be there. They're going to be dropping a Wendy's Baconator burger from 200 metres onto the middle of the pitch at halftime. So that's going to be interesting. It'd be worth going just to watch that.
What can you win?
You win a year's supply of Wendy's and you win 2 seasons passes to the Warriors next year.
Shit, that's good.
Yeah. So
one lucky person is going to get a chance to do it. Is that right?
Two people.
Two people. So how do you know what sort of velocity the burger's going to reach?
Well, it's a Baconator, so it'll be a wrapped Baconator. I think
bit of drag,
bit of drag, but also a bit of I think it won't come at pace. It won't be like a cricket ball. There's no weight. Not a lot of weight to it.
Are they going to wrap it a bit more like with a bit of Glad wrap, really solidly?
Yeah, I think a bit of duct tape to hold it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking that it's possible.
I don't know if you guys heard, but Ben Hurley did say on the Mad Monday podcast that if someone caught it in their mouth, he would buy them a car.
Oh, there you go. Wow. That'll be worth it actually. 'Cause seeing a Baconator implode on someone's face. Yeah. Potentially could smash your nose to bits.
Yeah, it could actually. Yeah. I'm just thinking about what terminal velocity. But I mean, with a burger, the big concern is the movement because it's not going end over end. It's just floating down, and there's going to be a lot of just movement and wind, and you might think you're underneath it. I think you need at least to know with the what do you call it, the drone, that it's right on the halfway line or wherever. You know.
Yeah, I think they might do a few tests, a few 10 metres, 20 metres before they take it up to the world record heights of over 100 metres.
Because you don't want to be standing on the halfway and it drops over by the 22 or the 20.
Or you don't want to drop it and it goes into the crowd and smears across someone's face. But it was international.
Exactly.
It's International Bacon Day. See, that's why they're dropping a Baconator from.
It's a big day.
Wendy's.
And I think there's a Vodafone have sort of bought the tickets and sort of distributed them.
I think it's going to be sold out. Going to be a bit of a party for the last game against the Titans. 14 play 15. We've avoided the wooden spoon, which I would have actually preferred the wooden spoon. At least it would have been something for the cabinet.
So that's Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you've got, it's a big night of sport.
Yeah.
And also I need to give a shout out to the my rugby club varsity. The university debt collectors are playing in the under-85s national final against the Southern Bush Pigs.
Oh, the Bush Pigs are back in the final.
Yeah.
They won it last year, I think. The Bush Pigs.
Yeah. It's Southern in Dunners?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So a huge game, and I can imagine some of those. I'd say that the Southern Bush Pigs must have a fair few students in there as well.
Is that televised, that game?
It is. It's
Sky
televised
covering that?
on Sky around 4, I think the kick-off is. And Bowden Barrett's brother-in-law is in the debt collectors. And so I said to him, are you going to help them warm up? Because, he's done a couple of coaching sessions with them. And he goes, nah, I'm a bit busy because he's... but he said he'll be there for the final whistle. We'll be there for the business end. So look out for Bodie. If he's celebrating, it's a debt collector's win. If not, it's all bush pigs, baby.
All bush pigs. And also a bit of news on the golf front. I see Cam Smith finally signed with the Live Golf debacle, the Saudi Arabian billions. But the good news for us is the ACC Golf Opens are back. You didn't play. You supported last year, didn't you, James, around Pupuki on the golf carts? But this year we've got 2 events in Auckland, one in Wellington, one in Christchurch, one in Taonga, and we're just confirming one in Dunedin. The Golf Opens with Movember Sports Club. It's a freaking great afternoon of beer drinking and golf. We supply all the beers on course. It's 9 holes. It's a 3-ball Ambrose format. She's a bloody good time. If you want to get involved, text golf to 3236 and to book your team spot. They sold out in a couple of days last year, so get onto it.
What days is that?
It's in November is Pupuki, December is Akaranga, and then we go to Christchurch in January, then we go to Shandon in February, and then we go to Puki and Dunedin in March.
I'll definitely be involved in 2 or 3 of those at least. And the other thing is, I did notice Matt Heath ended up with a slimy deal. One of those ones where a broadcaster goes, I'd really love some golf equipment, and starts mentioning all these retailers and like just throwing out a Callaway or a McGregor and seeing what comes back. And he got himself so kitted out on that golf day. He was by miles the best dressed golfer.
Oh, yeah, he looked great.
Shit, he looked good. But then you look at his swing and you go, okay, to be honest, there's something there, I think, with Matt Heath. He's got to just basically break it all down, minimise, and I think golf could be his sport, because I know that he really wants to be part of the cricket team, but I can feel him getting pushed out, and maybe he can be captain of the golf team.
Yeah, well, no reason why not. Di Henwood played last time. He's handy. Henwood, he's got a tight little swing. And I know Ben Hurley's keen for swinging the clubs as well. And Jeremy Wells, who's potentially going to be playing in the New Zealand Pro-Am down at the Hills in Queenstown. So he needs a lot of practice before that.
Well, what's his handicap?
Well, he used to play off a 6, I think.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty good.
He hasn't played in 10 years. So he's very, very erratic around the greens. Like his chips go about 20 metres past the green.
Oh, the zingers.
Yeah, he's zinging it left, right and centre. And then he gets the chipping right, and then he just starts spraying drives everywhere. And he's got very tight shoulders as well. So his swing is very much like my nana used to swing, and it was the kind of the half cock.
The Tin Man.
Yeah, the Tin Man swing. Mm-hmm. Righto, so McOnie Road Studio. So you got something here for us, James?
Yeah, I may have a song for you. It's just one that I haven't really practiced too much. So it's in honour of Fozzie losing to Argentina. He made history. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. He's a history maker, and Argentina got their first ever win in New Zealand last week, and so this one's for you, Fozzie.
Don't cry for me,
Ian Foster. The truth is we wanted Razor, but then you got the job and he got shafted. Go to the World Cup, just don't fuck it up. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. That's emotional as well.
It's quite heartfelt. I mean, we'll try and do a proper recording of it. It's one of those ones that it feels sad because you can tell the emotion. I'm a man from the Waikato. Ian Foster's from Tokoroa. I'm from Te Awamutu. There's a mutual love there.
Small town Waikato.
He's the son of a preacher man. Yeah. That'll be the other song. The only one who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man or Razor. Yeah, either or would be able to teach you.
Rightio, that wraps things up. But hey, good news, prize, the winner of the Makita Worksite Radio. Congrats to Chur Yoza, 173639203636 for your review of the Agenda podcast that said the testicle slip of the podcast world, 5 stars. Drop the ACC at nzme.co.nz an email with your details, Chur Yoza, and we'll get that Makita Worksite Radio out to you in the next 90 days.
Cheers up.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.